The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.
Blessed good morning and good day to everyone from the Caribbean and around the rest of the world. Thank you for being on the call. My name is Maureen Brown and I'm from Barbados. I am your host today. Just a reminder of why we are here. Our founder, Dr. Ruja, just told us we are learning today so we can lead tomorrow. For the next week or so, we will be exploring the Super TED series because it can be used to initiate conversations with parents, neighbors, friends, family, and loved ones about the world of cryptocurrency and the importance of becoming financially literate. It also gives us the opportunity to leave a lifelong legacy with our children and our nation's children. The Super TED series is an initiative created by the One World Foundation, which is part of the ecosystem of One Life and the heartbeat of our founder, Dr. Ruja Ignanova. The One World Foundation gives all One Life members the opportunity to donate and give back to the communities they operate in. The Adventures of Super TED is a series of comic books on financial education for children from ages 5 to 12 years old. The series aims to empower children to become independent and productive citizens who understand the basic concepts of money and finance. The content is developed by a team of financial experts, entrepreneurs, illustrators, and people with teaching experience. This ensures that the comics and the video lectures are adapted for children to explore the material at their own pace in their free time. It is made so kids can learn about money and financial institutions while having fun. Remember, it's an interactive session, so please put your questions and comments in the chat box. Also, we will allow 1 or 2 contributions at the end of the discussion unless otherwise stated. Together, we'll keep changing the world as stated by our founder, Dr. Ruja. Larry Pereira, over to you and the rest of the team.
Good morning, Maureen. And how are you this morning?
I'm well, and how are you?
Blessed, definitely blessed. Good morning, One Academites, wherever you are. Good morning in the Caribbean and further afield if it's midday, afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning and good afternoon. Would you believe it's the first Monday in June already? We're already at the 6th month of 2018. A lot of interesting and exciting things happening. We're looking forward. Next month, would you believe, here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have the Deal Shaker Expo. It's going to be huge, going to be exciting. But what's even more exciting, we have our diamond leader here, Miss Patrice James, on the line here, and she's going to be starting off our Super TED Learning Series. And I'm really excited. Good morning, Patrice.
Good morning, Larry, and good morning to you, Maureen, and the rest of the team. How are you, Larry?
I am super fabulous. Looking forward to take copious notes, as they say this morning.
Yes, I'm excited, very excited to be starting off the series this morning.
Yes, I know. Before we start, I know that the Super TED Learning Series, you have incorporated it into your family. You teach it to your children. Before we start, tell me a little bit about your experience in terms of sharing this information with your children.
All right, well, the first thing we did when King came back from Bulgaria, the first time he brought the books and we just gave it to them to see, what their interest would be. And my 8-year-old, she read the entire book. And then I saw her reading it to her sisters. And they pick it up all the time. If we have to go in the car, sometimes they leave the tablet and they'll pick up the Super TED book. Also gave it to their cousin. And his mom called me and she said he read the entire book as soon as he got it, he lay down on the bed, and he was just so interested in the book. So I know that, it's a very interesting book for children. And we went further and incorporated it into our homeschooling program. And what I do role play with them, or what we call skits. So we do a particular topic because, children, well, my children in particular, they like to dress up and they like to role play and have fun like that. So that's what we do. And, it's really helping them and empowering them for the future.
That's awesome. From your experience so far in terms of using the Super TED, what would you say makes Super TED so special that, persons who are now hearing this for the first time may want to really take advantage of this?
Well, first of all, the program is not in our curriculum in schools in Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm sure in the rest of the Caribbean, well, public schools. I don't know if anybody else incorporated it, but I know for sure it's not there. So what I've done is started engaging the Homeschooling Association, speaking to them about actually using this Super TED as a program to teach children finance, because they would go through the entire primary, secondary, and even tertiary education if they don't choose a finance in their curriculum, and they will not learn any of this. It's actually shocking, but they will not learn any of this. And only when you pick up the Super TED book and you start reading it, you realize, wow, when would they have learned about money?
Wow, that's awesome. Would you say that for those who have never had any experience at all about finance, that not even for children, but that this Super TED can be used as a foundation start for even adults?
Absolutely, because it breaks it down, and it's very simple without doing all the reading, let's say, of the One Academy, which is good when you want to get in depth, but without doing that, they put it in comic form. It's easy to read, easy to understand. So even adults could, as we will see in a little while, understand the Super TED.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Patrice James. We look forward this morning as you start your session with Super TED. So it's all over to you.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to start off with the Adventures of Super TED introduction video. And just a fun fact, when we went to the One World Foundation Gala in Portugal, we were surprised by Super TED himself. There was a Super TED mascot that walked into the room, and, well, children were there at the gala, so that was a little exciting for them. So let's meet Super TED.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey kids, I know most of you have heard adults speaking about money, right? In our animated video series, we will discover the most important things you should know about money and how to manage it in the future. Ooh, did I forget to mention our adventurous comic book with finance lessons? I love comics so much. What about you? Are you ready for this adventure?
All right, so were you all able to see the video, Larry?
Yes, we did.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, Patrice, yes.
All right, awesome. So this morning, what we are going to go through is the history of money. And it's, well, as Maureen had explained, there are other parts of the comic book. However, this morning, we're just going to focus on the history of money. I would give short explanations in between, and then we would watch a very short video just to, cover everything that we spoke about. So we already met Super TED, and let's go. So a long time ago, people didn't have money. Instead, they exchanged things they made for things they didn't have. Or I would say things they made and things they had to, because you didn't just, it wasn't just things that you made, but things that you have for things that you didn't have. This is called a barter. So we see the little comic there. This rough-looking cave guy says, "Give me that hammer and I will give you 3 buckets of milk from my cow." and then of course negotiating 4 buckets and we have a deal. So we see a little issue coming in there already. Barter works in small quantities, so exchanging more than 1 to 2 things at a time becomes difficult. So then they start arguing. They're back and forth with each other. So before we go on, I went into this explanation, of course, when I teach this bartering. There are some issues with bartering that we must make note of if you're making notes this morning. The double coincidence of wants. Under the barter system, a double coincidence of wants is required for exchange. In other words, the wants of 2 persons who desire to exchange goods or must coincide. So they must coincide. For example, if person A wants to acquire shoes in exchange for wheat, then he must find another person who wants wheat for shoes. Such a double coincidence of wants involves great difficulty and wastage of time in a modern society. It rarely occurs. In the absence of a double coincidence of wants, the individuals under the barter system are compelled either to hold goods for long periods of time or to make numerous intermediary exchange in order to get finally the goods of their choice. So I believe that's easy for us to understand there, that there must be, I must want what you have and you must want what I have. Of course, there was the absence of a common measure of value. Even if it is possible to have the double coincidence of wants, the absence of a common measure of value creates great problem because a lot of time is wasted to strike a bargain, as we saw there with the buckets of milk and the hammer exchange. In fact, under the barter system, every good must be expressed in terms of every other good. If, for example, there are 1,000 goods in the economy, then in the absence of monetary unit, every good can be exchanged for the remaining 999 goods. What is true for one good will be true for all others. Lack of divisibility. There's also the problem of storing wealth, difficulty of deferred payments, and of course, we always talk about this one in our meetings, the problem of transportation. If the guy lives down south, it might be easy for you to travel with the hammer, but what about traveling with the cow? So we see, and it's a pattern that whenever there's a problem with the way we're exchanging, then a solution arises. So that's why coins were invented. I'm reading again, if you're following the screen. That's why coins were invented. Rulers made coins from precious metals like bronze, silver, and gold. They were more comfortable to carry around than the products themselves, and even better, people could give an exact value to the things they traded. This developed trade, and people started to exchange large quantities of goods at great distances. Again, a problem arises, as we see next. At a certain point, however, it became impractical and risky to carry around bags with gold. So risky because, of course, we have, if you look in the back there, you'll see a little bandit with a knife. He's coming to steal the gold. So that's one issue. And then, of course, if I have to travel, I don't want to travel around with all that amount of gold to make my exchange. So in order to protect their wealth, people started to leave their gold at the bank. In exchange, they received a note from the bank, a bank note, or it's also called a promissory note, which stated how much gold they had there. Then they exchanged these notes between themselves, and the gold remained safely in the vault. So it was literally, if you listen to the hidden secrets of money, as Larry told us about, that I went to look at it on YouTube. We know at that time, when there was actually gold in the vault, you were able to come to the counter and say, all right, my promissory note says I have 20 pieces of gold, then you get 20. You could at any time go back and ask for your 20 pieces of gold. So eventually banknotes became widespread and used all over the world. Every country had its own currency. Trading developed even more and now happens across the world. Instead of carrying their money with them, traders sent money via bank transfer. against a fee, of course. That was safer and more convenient for them. So there we see the introduction of banking, and where those fees that were probably minuscule at that time but now escalated, that's where banking was introduced. In the 21st century, having a bank account and making bank transfers is easier, cheaper, and of course faster than ever. Debit and credit cards are widespread and start to replace paper money. With these cards, the people shop online worldwide from the comfort of their homes. The world has never been so connected and everything is closer than ever. What I've noticed and explain when I'm talking about Super Ted is that as human beings, we also, if you look from bartering to the coins to the paper notes, we are always looking for an easier way. So then with credit cards, it's easier. And with the introduction of technology, we want everything fast, as they call it, the microwave generation. We want everything quick. So as the money changes face, it becomes easier and easier for people to trade. You could sit in the comfort of your home now and just purchase stuff online, and then it appears by your door or at the courier's office. So money is the basis of trade and development in the world. The easier it is for people to trade, the more opportunities they have. Today, you can live at one part of the world and work with people who are thousands of kilometers away, something unthinkable until very recently. So now we are literally a global village. What else awaits us in the nearby future? So some facts to the bottom here, or some trivia. Did you know there's already a country in which paper money has almost disappeared? Since 2015, the biggest Norwegian banks no longer accept paper money. It is expected to disappear entirely by 2020. So we are seeing that many countries are now going digital. The banks especially are going digital way. So the use of paper money is now phasing out. There is a new type of universal electronic money, which we all know about on this call. The so-called cryptocurrencies allow people to trade directly with each other without the need of a bank or a company to help them, but over the network in an anonymous and much safer way than traditional methods. Of course, our own is not anonymous. So we have KYC, know your customer, or know your business. And so this is where we see again, human beings wanting an easier way to trade. And this was the introduction of cryptocurrencies. So we have, of course, we're not going in depth with that right now, but it's also a solution to a problem, which is the banking sector, the issues that we were having with the banking sector and then the crash in 2008. So this brings me actually to the end of the reading. I am going to share a video with you now. I think I lost my page. Let's see if I can get it up quickly. One World Foundation. Just bear with me. I don't know where it went. Did its own thing this morning. Good. So, all right. So this is going to show you. Let me see if I can get it big. I hope everyone is seeing that. And this is a quick video just to show everything I just spoke about.
Hello there, my name is Super Ted, and I will be your guide in the world of finance. There was a time when money did not exist. Instead, people exchanged things. This is called barter. Barter still works today, but when you have to exchange more than 2 to 3 things at a time, it gets very difficult. Because you have to carry the items with you. Also, it was hard to estimate the value of a certain product. That's why coins were invented. They were made from precious metals like bronze, silver, and gold. In the past, rulers usually made coins in their image. It was more comfortable to carry around than the products, and people could give an exact value to the things they traded. Coin money made trade easier, but the more people traded, the more money they had to carry with them. At a certain point, it became impractical and even risky to carry bags of gold with you. In order to protect their wealth, people started to leave their gold at the bank. In exchange, they received a note from the bank which stated how much gold they had. People began to exchange these notes while gold remained safely in the vault. Banknotes became widespread and used all over the world. With trade, banks developed as well and started offering new services. Instead of carrying money, merchants could send money by bank transfer against a fee. That was safer and there was no risk, money to be lost or stolen. Today, having a bank account and making bank transfers is easier, cheaper, and faster than ever. People can keep their money safe in the bank, but still use it with a bank card.
Okay, awesome. So I know the video more or less went over everything that I said. I went through and reading the comics. However, you would decide, you know, if you're using the Super TED program, you could either use the comic books or the videos. And of course, in these times, people like watching videos. So that is my part for this morning. I hope that everyone understood and, you know, enjoyed what you learned this morning. Larry, it's back to you.
Absolutely, Patrice, really do appreciate what you've shared this morning. But before you go, we have some time to really have a quick discussion here. I took some notes. Would you believe I'm taking copious notes from you? I actually said some really, really important things. Now, we were talking about barter, the bartering system, and you really mentioned something really interesting. It's called, you know, the double coincidence, right? You want to really explain a little bit of that for those of us who are listening on this morning, as it relates to if they're now hearing this term double coincidence when you're talking about bartering, because really and truly we need to understand how money has evolved so we could really appreciate what we have. So tell us a little bit about this double coincidence, a little more about it.
Sure. All right. So, you know, normally we'll say, hey, what a coincidence. You have water. I was looking for water, right?
Right.
Yeah, so the coincidence of me having something that you need, you want. So you have water and I want water. I'm very tired. I just came from a long run and all I have is maybe my watch on me at that time because I'm timing myself running around the tracks. And you do not want a watch. You really don't want a watch. You don't need one. You have one already. So we need to have that double coincidence of wants. Now, it went into a little further saying that you would have to do a lot of intermediary exchanges before you could get that water. So maybe you wanted some running shoes at that time because you have your watch and you have some water, a case of water, whatever, and you want some running shoes. We have to wait until we see someone around who has running shoes, and then we need to find someone who has something that they want. So it gets a little complicated, but it's just really saying that. And I used the way of teaching this, I use this as a skit. I have my children gather a few items and then they're literally walking up to each other and saying, you know, do you want this pillow or this teddy? And we make it into something fun. And no, I don't want that. But, you know, I could sure use a blanket, you know. So it's really, we need to have a double coincidence of wants in order to barter or to trade.
Excellent. So what you're saying is that the whole idea of double coincidence really could really be more practical only in the case where we are really agreeing on value. So the bottom line for this to really work is we have to have an agreed system of value where if I'm exchanging a good or a service, you need to have it specifically because that's what this double coincidence is, right?
Right. And value meaning that it's valuable to you at that time and not literally the value of the item, because that's another point. So the value meaning that is something that you want.
Right. So for bartering to really exist, these two parties in particular, we need to have agreement really is the bottom line. We must agree that we need this item, that there is value in terms of what you have and in terms of what I'm giving to you.
That's correct.
So this whole evolution of money now moving away from the bartering system to where we started to use intrinsic value, something that's physically representation of value, is really how money really started.
Yes.
right? So give me, I know you would have listened to Mike Maloney, and I would love to get your take as it relates to how we have evolved from this system of bartering to using real money, and then now moving away from this whole idea of real money and creating fiat currency.
Right. So I believe that it was in, and you could correct me if I'm wrong there, in Greece that they started using the gold coins. I
Yes.
know. I know in
Lydia, actually, to be specific.
Lydians, yes. I know in even before that we had in Egypt they used the actual gold. However, they needed something that had was a better measure of value, if I could say, if that's correct to say. So in Greece they started using the coins, the Lydians, and that's where the gold coins were actually used. You know, they were able to put a measure of value. And what I learned from the video is that after war, I believe it was with the Spartans, I
Yes.
don't, yeah, they had, so let's just say, for example, they had 1,000 gold coins. They wanted to have more to spend, of course, for during the wartime, and they start incorporating copper into the gold coins so that they could have more. So we see deficit spending started there, and that is when, you know, the problem of which we even see with fiat currency now started.
Excellent. So basically, guys, you know, when we really look at really what money is, the whole system and the evolution of money is that governments and complex e-commerce and commerce systems really now allowed government to really play with this thing called paper, which was a representation of real money. And that's where this whole thing really started. Paper was a representation of true value. But unfortunately, this true value transcended now the need for quantity. And this is where this whole idea, as Patrice just said, about deficit spending, and every single country uses deficit spending. Patrice, your final closing marks as we ahead about 28 minutes after the hour. Your take this morning, your overall take that you really want One Academites listening on this call to really take away this information that was shared.
I know, you know, the Super TED is used for basic knowledge, and of course it was created for children, but I would like to admonish us, and I do it too, I'm not asking you to do anything that I don't do, is the books and the audios that Larry would, you know, ask us to go and listen to or to read. We need to do it. We need to read it. We need to listen to it. And why? To become true students of the One Academy, of this business opportunity that we are a part of, and to help us to better. Because sometimes when I'm listening to these things, I'm like, wow, I get when King, sometimes I feel like, you know, King is a bit harsh when he's speaking to people, but you are really working hard, working two jobs sometimes for dying currency. And the only way we understand that is by, of course, getting the understanding, by learning. The knowledge is important. Thanks, Larry.
Absolutely. Patrice James, diamond leader as well in the One Life community. Thank you so much for your read this morning and your thoughts, your knowledge, your explanations. I hope, One Academites, that you took notes, because a lot of things were said, you know, with the Super TED. So you see how important you can start using the Super TED to really supplement your learning and even make learning fun, not just for your children, but also for yourself. Thank you so much, Patrice. Have yourself a super fabulous day.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Yes. So before I hand over my part of the segment over to Maureen, I have a comment from Lisa Green, and she says that the double coincidence can also be related to the deal shaker, where we look to our community first to provide what we need. And the difference is that we use the one coins as a form of payments. Very good comment, Lisa. Hats off to you and good morning to you. Of course, this ends my part of the morning. We do continue tomorrow morning. We have Miss Maureen Brown, who will be continuing tomorrow, actually, on the Super TED reading. So we look forward with great anticipation, and of course, the many other presenters as we go forward this week. So I just want to thank you. Good morning once again. Have yourself a super day, and looking forward to seeing you on the call tomorrow morning. Miss Maureen Brown, it's over to you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Patrice. Wow, that was such an interesting and difference this morning in what we're doing. I did learn something, the double coincidence. Yes, I did. And it was fun using the comic form of what we do here at One Life. I wanted Lisa Green to shine in this morning, and I was pretty grateful when I saw her comment. So, Lisa, I'm going to unmute your mic. Shining, please.
Good morning, One Academites. Good morning, everyone. When Patrice was going through her one TED this morning, as she spoke, I realized that the deal shaker is so vital to us as we are doing this, as we do the education, and we understand what we're doing. The deal shaker is our form of bartering, wherein we, as the community, have something that other people need. And if we do not put our deals on Deal Shaker, how would people know that we have what they want? And I want to encourage everyone this morning, if you don't have a deal on Deal Shaker, you need to get one on as quickly as possible to let people know that we are here and that we have something of value. And it helps with accumulating those one coins for people who just can't afford to upgrade their packages at this time. But the Deal Shaker helps you also to accumulate that wealth that we are looking for. So that's my contribution this morning. Thanks, Maureen. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for that encouragement and telling us, or reminding us of the value we have when we use the Deal Shaker. I'd like to hear from Joy Severo. Joy, where are you? I'm unmuting your mic. Go ahead. Could you shine in this morning, Joy?
Yes. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. We're hearing you loud and clear.
Okay. I have looked forward to this for a long time because I plan to have sessions with my grandchildren,
Mm.
and I find this is very, very interesting. It is very knowledgeable, and the fact that it's not being taught at school. And growing up as a child, I knew nothing about money, and even as a big person, I have been saving, and I knew about saving, and didn't understand anything about the bucket system, even though in my growing up, because I'm a grandmother, in my growing up, we did bartering, but I didn't even understand that we were actually doing bartering. My grandmother would send us to the neighbor for maybe some flour, and she would send sugar in exchange for the flour, because they would have already spoken to each other and said, well, listen, I send Joy, for some flour, and the other lady, the aunt, she would say, okay, so then could you send me some sugar then for it? And when Daddy came from work, he would send potatoes to the neighbors, and another time the neighbor would send pawpaw to us, fruit, some form of fruit. And I didn't know that this was a form of bartering. They just did it, so. And now that we are using the money, and I could understand because I've done a little of microeconomics. They do have this, and I'm really understanding the use of money and the difference between money and currency. I really have a little idea, and I'm glad for this One Academy course. I'm really, really glad for this, and this stupid adventure. But I was wondering how it is that it's not being done during the vacation time when the children are at home and will be able to sit with their parents and do this super this business and understand it better, because right now the children are at school and they are busy, so they can't really sit and listen to this. So I think that maybe we can do it again around vacation time. And this is my contribution.
Thank you so much, Joy. Joy was, just for some people said it was a bit low, but Joy was saying that it really, her knowledge was broadened this morning in terms of the bartering, because she now recognized that they were always doing it from the time she was a child. So, and she as a grandmother has all intentions of basically doing it with her grandchildren, I believe, as well as she's encouraging us to sit with our children as well and make sure that happens. I have to watch my time very careful because we really want to stick to the short time that we're supposed to have. Dwayne, I want to ask two last people. So Dwayne, I'm going to unmute your mic and hopefully I can get a short comment from you, and then I'll go to Noel Jack, because today is his special day. Dwayne, could you shine in?
Okay, Maureen, I'll have to shine in from this location. Hold 1 second. Yes, Maureen, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Okay, pleasant morning to all the One Academites in the room. Pleasant good morning to Patrice, Maureen, and Larry. Guys, this is just awesome. The information being disseminated. As a matter of fact, I was having a conversation with a school teacher from my son's school here in Trinidad, my son's former teacher, and I was letting her know that I'm going to send her the SuperTED information to be able for her to introduce it to our class. Now, what I'm happy about is I know that she is a person of integrity, so that when I send that information, I know that that information is going to be translated to the boys. And seeing that really in our school curriculum, there is nothing to teach our students finance, and she teaches the standard 5 class. This will be an introduction to those students now going forward into secondary school. So it should definitely pique their interest in relation to the whole cryptocurrency conversation. One of the things that I'm doing these days is that when I speak to young people, I'm saying to them, listen, you need to go and find out what an e-wallet is, especially in relation to the massive translation of wealth that is happening from the fiat currency base into the cryptocurrency base. Our children need not to be ignorant about these things, and it needs to be at the forefront of their minds right now, because that is the only way that they could really position themselves to benefit in the future. So that's my contribution this morning.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. And you know I'm not going to let you get away with something, a comment you just made, but we won't do it right now, but we'll do it later in the week, and you will explain what an e-wallet is to the rest of us, okay? Good. Last but not least, I want to unmute the mic of Noel Emmanuel Jack. Today is his special day, and therefore, Noel, over to you.
Hi, good morning, Maureen.
Good morning.
And good morning, Larry. Good morning, Patrice, and all One Academites. It's such a privilege to be on these calls. Very important. You know, I just want to reiterate this point. Even congratulations to Patrice James on her homeschooling. And I wanted to be encouraged that she's following the path of great reformers. You know, people like Martin Luther, the German reformer, Dr. Martin Luther. And it goes way back to the biblical times where you had the schools of the prophets, and they were actually taught, you know, academic subjects like music and mathematics and all the stuff that we do now. Now, it was Socrates, and in particular, Plato, who was responsible for what is called our present-day academia, where the sciences came about and so on, all the various fields of studies and knowledge. Even Aristotle made his contribution as well. But these guys, they tended to present a pantheistic form of education where everything was, you know, revered as God and energy and matter and so on. All these things in creation took an evolutionary perspective. But if we do what the scripture says, and I want to acknowledge this fact that economy, finance, trade, business is taught in the Bible. And the parents were entrusted with the responsibility to teach their children when they were lying down, when they were getting up, when they were going out, wherever they went, that, it is in the power of God to give wealth. And as time advanced and the technology advanced, they left the time of bartering, or at least something of value was added to as a means of exchange, because bartering still goes on. So it is very important for us to make the connection, never leave God out of the whole equation. It is, the Bible says, the gold is mine, the silver is mine, the cattle on 1,000 hill is mine. And you look through the scriptures, you see the Israelites in their economy, trading and so on, even with other nations. Solomon had massive amounts of gold and silver. Even the Messiah himself was betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. All right, so let us, in this whole quest for knowledge and the whole drive towards becoming entrepreneurs and creating wealth, it is all good, but let us temper it also with the admonition of the Messiah himself. Said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto us. So let's remember God in the whole equation, because it is the power of God to give wealth, and the knowledge of the One Academy is important. If we get our families together and we teach from the children level go up, we will all become financially literate, and we'll all become successful. We'll be the head and not the tail. So blessings to everyone, and thank you very much for this opportunity. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Noel. Noel, you didn't tell us about what's happening today, Monday. You forgot?
Oh, yes, I forgot. Well, we should be on today. We have a little obstacle, but we're hoping to be on today at 10:05, Radio WAC. That's We Are Cultic Crazy on 90.1 FM. And we also have with us, particularly to deal with the deal shaker, Mr. Eric Alvarez, one of the experts in our One Life family, dealing with the deal shaker. We will be bringing more guests and so on. We'll be hooking up with some international people as time go on. So everybody look forward to it. Tune in, tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Thank you.
Thank you, Noel. And Larry, could you put up the dates for the Deal Shaker Expo before we go to the Dr. Ruger to send us off? So just before Larry...
I don't have the slide, unfortunately, right at hand, but I will have it tomorrow morning.
Brilliant. So I just want to say before Larry carries us out with our Patrice is saying that the Deal Shaker Expo in Trinidad, the International Deal Shaker Expo, is between July the 20th straight through to July the 22nd. And as Larry said, he's going to be putting up this slide tomorrow. Thank you for that, Patrice. I just want to say thanks to the entire team. Thanks to each and every one of you who made a sacrifice to be on the call this morning. I know it would have been a bit different and it may seem a bit, basic, but we did get good and solid information to encourage us today to don't forget the children, include them, as well as initiate conversations as we go. I want to say to you, thank you again for being on the call. Have a great One Life productive day. Larry, take us out with our founder.
The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.